Good. Hello, everyone.
Oh, hi, I'm eating breakfast.
All you peepholes. I, too, am eating breakfast, except I lost my breakfast.
I found it. Your breakfast.
Ah, my breakfast. Excellent. And we will change top chat to live chat, just in case anything. Okay. Let's pop it out. Where's chat pop out? I've lost it. Oh, it's right here. There we go. Pop out chat. Yay. Okay. There we go. Okay. So.
Okay, so.
First thing is first. I'm going to bite this bacon and then grab the whiskey.
Oh. I've got that. Alcohol.
Aberfeldy 12.
Okay. I know nothing about this.
Yeah, me neither. Honestly, it's not something that I've heard of. So, I took the liberty of looking it up myself. So, this is Aberfeldy 12 Highland Single Malt Scotch.
It's been malted once.
So, to anyone who does not know, which I don't know why you would be watching if you don't know what it means, why you'd be here if you're not interested in whiskey. But on the off chance that there's someone here that does not know what all those strange terms mean, Aberfeldy, of course, is the name of the distillery. 12 means that of the barrels from that distillery that were mixed, the youngest barrel was 12 years old. It was at least 12 years old. And so then the rest is Highland Single Malt Scotch. Highland refers to the region of Scotland where it comes from. And I don't know anything about the regions. I know that Islay tends to be very smoky. I looked this up, and they said this as a Highland Scotch is not smoky. So I'm going to assume that Highlands aren't very smoky.
Okay. We've reached that conclusion easily.
Single means everything only came from one distillery. And malt means it is 100% barley.
Well, there it is. Sound?
All right.
Oh, that was very unsatisfying.
Yeah, that wasn't my favorite.
That's such a short cork. So, it already has the smell of the type of thing that makes me gag when I drink it. And I realize that I am the odd man out here, as this is the thing that I don't enjoy as much as most people who drink whiskey, or you, for that matter.
Yeah.
And everything that's ever been set in these types of barrels, I have trouble getting down. Even beer. I am a big beer guy, but if it was like a bourbon barrel anything, I can taste that, and I just don't like it. It has I want to say a maltiness. That's the best word I can think of. And it just has that flavor, and I don't appreciate it.
It's not a maltiness.
That's just the best word I have.
Yeah, so I will tell you that, because stuff that's in bourbon barrels does not taste malty. The Scotch itself will taste malty, because it is made with barley. But bourbon tends to have much less barley than, say, corn. It must be at least 51% corn to be bourbon.
So we're doing something extremely different today, in that we've started so early. I thought maybe we should have a bite of food before we started. So I brought bacon and Sean made eggs. And we're still finishing up breakfast as we do this. So this will be a little bit noisy and mouth noisy. Yes. And this is coffee, actually. Sean has made coffee.
This is coffee.
I didn't realize it was coffee for a while, but look at that.
You have to rotate it.
Rotate?
I must rotate it.
That looks like one of those cups that the picture comes out as it gets hot, but you rip that screen off of it, so now it just always looks like that. Strength Juddy. Oh yes, black coffee. Like I like my shirts.
I like my coffee.
Okay. I also like my coffee. I shouldn't say that. I don't like coffee like you like coffee. Because you're about to drink it just like that.
Well, actually, I like to put sugar in it. I just forgot to get some.
I like sugar and cream because I'm what they call a punk.
Okay, so I do like it with cream, and for almost my entire life, I preferred it. And then I started drinking beer. And beer has, even though it's a different kind of bitter, beer is always bitter to some extent. And that got my palate to bitterness, and now I love black coffee. I might prefer it still with cream, but I do like it a considerable amount.
See, my palate never really changed for things outside of beer. Mm-hmm. Like, there was a chart I saw one time and it made me laugh so much, and you're going to laugh because you think about what I drink. It says, the journey of, I don't know if it's a beer guy or beer, whatever, it was a stupid thing like that. It said, it shows like the evolution stages, like the low evolved thing, and then it goes higher and higher and higher to the end of the guy. It's first it says lagers, then it says IPA, then it says small batch, and then it says lagers again. Like, that's me. That's what I've done. I've gone all the way back to drinking nothing but, like, lagers and just weird beer.
So, my beer experience started out with...
Experience?
I think it started off with stuff like that Jimi Hendrix beer. What's it called? Purple Rectum or whatever.
Purple Haze, you weirdo.
Oh, yeah. I thought it had a different name other than just Purple Haze. I know the song was Purple Haze. I think the beer was called Purple Haze.
It's by a Beetle Brewing Company. Purple Haze.
A Beetle Brewing Company?
A beetle, only made by insects.
Okay.
Which reminds me, my name is Michael with a B, and I've been afraid of insects my entire life.
Where's the bee?
There's a bee! Please continue.
And then I tried stouts and very heavy beers like that. Mm-hmm. And now I much prefer stouts and very heavy beers like that.
I went through a phase, well, me and Ellie both went through this phase, where, like, that's all that we drank was aggressive. Like, the lightest thing we drank was, like, the Black and Tan from Yingling, which is a stout mixed with their lager. That's, like, the lightest thing that we drank for forever. And now we don't drink hardly anything dark. It's super weird. Super weird. Well, hey, did I leave my cigar cutter the other day here? I can't find it anywhere.
I don't believe so.
I just couldn't find it. Didn't know if it was here. Please continue with talking that we're doing.
I have one, though.
Well, it's good.
I'm fairly certain you did not, though.
I believe you.
Also, you couldn't have. You partook in cigars yourself at an earlier time.
Why, I cut it off with, I used a razor.
Okay.
All right. I took that picture the other day. Okay, so we have these two cigars, which are...
unmarked.
They're called Pirate Bays.
Oh.
I bought them from the store, and the lady said,
really?
I've never sold one of these. I said, well, now you've sold two. Mm-hmm. And these are called Cheap Bastards. So would you have an unmarked pirate cigar?
Download this song.
I feel like this would be an appropriate one for coffee and breakfast and a brand new scotch.
Mm-hmm. Did you say brandy with scotch?
I said breakfast.
I said breakfast and coffee and brandy with scotch is what I thought you said.
I did not, but I can see why you would think that given our situation. But this isn't brandy, so obviously I'm not going to do that.
Obviously there's no brandy.
I can tell by sniffing this that I'm going to make a face, so let's just go ahead and get this over with.
Oh, I've already made a face.
I know. All right, so let's give this stuff a shot. This is the Aberfeldy.
We are not giving it a shot.
Yes, we're gonna give it a sip. Calm down.
Ooh.
I take it back.
Oh.
I take it back. Fantastic.
Okay, so the thing that I saw mentioned several things that I'm not really picking up on.
Okay.
Because I never pick up on these special flavors and stuff.
Let's talk about what we think before we say what it's supposed to be picking up. Let's not go over the power of influence here, because you're not affected by the power of influence, and as long as I don't know, I won't be.
Okay. So actually, the more I think about it, the more that one of the things I read is coming true to me. Right. And that is, someone said it tastes kind of melony. And I didn't think that until I let it sit for a while. And I'm getting a little tiny bit of that. Like, it makes me think of... It makes me think of Indiana melons.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Also, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt this, but this is the only bottle I've ever seen that acknowledges this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've never seen a bottle acknowledge the angel share.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting to me. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
On the front of the bottle, it does say we lose over a third to the angels. I've never seen a company come out and be like, except for like on social media, not on their bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Thank you, Kanye.
Now, I'm fairly certain that if you lose that much in your angel share, because you usually lose a certain amount, obviously, but I think if you lose over a third, that means it's very, very high proofed when you put it in, which means, so you lose more of it, but you also, the more alcohol is in it, the more you pick up on the barrel flavor.
So you're saying the more that you lose, you'd pick up on the barrel flavor more. Or the other way around, did I misunderstand you?
Yeah, well, just by the higher proof you put it in, the more of it evaporates, because alcohol evaporates fairly well. So the more alcohol that's in it, the faster it evaporates. Also, the more alcohol that's in it, the more barrel flavor it picks up on.
Okay.
So, I'm not exactly sure what barrel flavor it is.
This taste of barrel. I'm going to go try my coffee black. This is not something that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Just because I'm not a fan.
It would be nice with sugar.
Well, I'm not going to... I don't want to do... I've never had coffee made the way you just made it, first of all.
Really?
Yeah, really.
It makes it fluffy? I don't know the best way to...
Aerated?
It does, yes.
That's very smooth for just being straight coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to poop any minute now. This is going to be great.
Hand me that Stein. That R.L. Stein, as it were.
To the cigars?
Oh, you might as well. But anyways,
Please continue.
You haven't given your opinion.
That's true. I'm going to take another sip before and after the coffee because I want to see if this is going to make this a lot sweeter. Because I want to pick up on some of the stuff you're talking about.
And it is very sweet.
It is very sweet. It is. But I mean, after a drink of coffee, good lord, it's going to be almost unbearably sweet.
Mm-hmm. Oh. It is not.
That was a shock.
Yeah, it is. So there are about like 18 different types of sour. Tart is the wrong one to describe this. But there's a little bit of a kick to it, though.
Like a very natural sour.
Uh-huh. No, not a sour. A little bit of a sour, maybe. But the main flavor I'm getting is a little bit of a bitter, like a sharp bitter.
A shart?
Yes. And I think that would be barrel flavor.
Ah.
Because I bet that's tannins. I bet that's what flavor is. Tannins from the oak.
I've never tasted a tannin.
You haven't?
I never went on a tannin before.
Okay. Have you ever eaten an acorn?
No, I know you and Brooke both do this, you weirdos.
Have you ever eaten an unripe banana?
I refuse to.
Have you ever eaten a grapeseed?
Probably by accident.
Okay. So all of those things have a very crazy, sharp bitter to them.
Of course.
And that's the flavor of tannin. It's toxic, you know.
What do I know that's toxic?
All kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's true.
Ooh, this has a very difficult draw, doesn't it?
In addition to that...
Is this cased? It's extremely sweet. This is heavily cased.
Also, these feel like they haven't been dried for as long. Do you feel that? That's almost not even being properly... It's not that it's even, like, properly kept at proper humidity. It's just, like, damp, almost. Like, it's too humid.
Yeah, it's not, it's not very,
Très bien.
Yeah, you don't want, fallen leaves when you squeeze it, but you don't want... And I'll crack that turtle down. You don't want this.
You don't want
Like,
this.
You want some sound when you squeeze it, and
This
you
one's
can tell
green.
there's nothing. Huh?
This one's actually green. This is going to be interesting.
This is going to be weird. Now, it will not taste bad. I can tell you that.
I'm going to tell you that it will taste bad. Because of the casing? Is that what
Because
you're
of the
saying?
casing.
All right.
Yeah. Now, I don't like heavily cased pipe tobacco, but I've never had a heavily cased cigar, so I don't know what my response to that is.
Touch tips.
Touch tips and smoke it.
That is an aggressive sweetness. I mean, you can tell the casing's aggressive on your mouth. Giggity.
Ugh. Do you have as difficult of a draw as I do?
It's difficult.
Mm.
And you know how aggressively I smoke, and I'm having some hard time getting it through.
Mm-hmm.
Look how fast that's burning.
Yeah. This is gonna be a 10-minute smoke.
Okay,
You'd think it would be more, but no, it's not.
So for the record,
Mm-hmm.
these are cheaper cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't expecting a lot out of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know what I was expecting. There you are, Mr. Sean. Some nice crispy bacon. This is so far the most boring podcast we've done because we're spending so much time eating and doing things.
Yeah. Well, we have new stuff to talk about, so we can't really get into our topic yet. We have new cigars and a new drink and
New cigars, new drink. And also, I know we haven't done cigars for a couple weeks, but it's because every time we try it neat, we must do it with a cigar.
I don't know if you can see that or not. I dropped a... Yeah, you can.
Oh, you
I dropped
can.
a piece of a cigar in my drink.
Your day is ruined.
That is interesting. Let me sip that again. That... Obviously, this is so dang sweet.
This is a super sweet cigar.
That it
This is
takes the
shocking.
sweetness out of that. It's not smooth anymore. It has a massive, bite. It's yeah, it's no longer sweet or smooth. Those the flavors that I later identified as tannins. That's really strong in there now. It's wild.
Yeah, and it's hard to really give an opinion on this cigar because the sweetness of the casing is so overbearing.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if you're going to go hang out with friends and they're like, "Can someone pick up cigars?" and you're like, "Yeah, I'll get 12 of these." Sure, all day long. It's a decent smoke, considering these cost $3 a piece. Or $3.50, I think.
I know why it's so heavily cased. I just figured it out. Mm-hmm. Retrohale. Isn't that disgusting?
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's not as bad. Hold on, though. It's not as bad.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad as The Leaf by Oscar Corojo.
Please stop making cigars.
Oscar, I'm not going to say you're a bad cigar maker, but this cigar,
It's rough, my guy.
why did you do it?
We want to talk to you about it. We have questions. Mostly because we don't know what we're talking about, and we're sure that you do.
Yes, and so we would like to know what you did wrong.
But we want to know why.
Why you did it wrong.
We want to hear the reason, desperately.
We feel you screwed up, and we We want to know what's going on.
You gotta wonder, is he still alive? Is this just like some random guy running the company that doesn't know how to make cigars, or?
Well, I bet even if old Oscar was still alive, he probably wouldn't be the one rolling them.
Well, you've got a great point. Mm-hmm. Which I know that you and I have talked about this a lot, but I desperately want to become a tobacconist, and I want to make our own cigars. I know you don't have to be to do that. I'm an
inspector with the Dental Association. I'm a tobacconist.
Wondrous. This is not a bad cigar. It's just so sweet.
Yeah.
All right, now that I've really got into this, I'm going to go back into this as well. Okay. The reason why I waited is because my reaction to having something that's even less sweet and going to be more of that bitter flavor, you were like, bitters. And I was like, ah! Also, there are 2 flies in my Glencairn.
2 flies don't bother me.
I want you to die. Here is 1 fly.
Notice I said 2 flies don't bother me, not 2 flies doesn't bother me. So therefore, I'm not referring to the concept of 2 flies. I'm referring to 2 individual flies. 2 of these flies don't bother me.
Well, the rest of them will then.
Yes.
Here's your other fly.
Thanks, Brad.
And those are the ones that don't bother you. Yeah, you keep them. I'm not going to let a couple flies ruin my experience.
Oh, no. I'm surprised you didn't have them spit it out.
I love that joke.
So I've heard that joke 2 ways. Once was with an Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman all drinking their beer. The other way I heard it was with a missionary eating soup, and it was on his 3 different visits after he'd been there for.
You know, that's the only one that I've heard, actually.
Really? Mm-hmm. One of them was the Englishman threw out the beer, the Scotsman threw out the fly, and the Irishman told him to spit it out.
I mean, I assume, given the socioeconomic status of these 3 groups.
Yeah.
I don't wish to become a Game of Thrones podcast. You have not been keeping up with this. You have not been. You have not watched the last season, have you?
Probably
not since season 3.
I haven't finished season 2.
So they ruined it. Mm-hmm. The whole reason why the show was good is because the pacing was so good, and they took the time to do everything properly. Mm-hmm. And then they decided to throw it all away in the last 2 episodes.
Cool.
Yeah, it's terrible. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to tell you. Are you uneven?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I think I lit it unevenly, though. Okay, so you said this isn't a bad cigar.
It's not.
I'm tasting this, and the more, as I get, just the smoke, I think it is. It's a very bad cigar. That's why it's so heavily cased, is to mask how bad of a cigar it is.
Correct. Here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you could get 12 of these for $36.
Yes.
And if you had a bunch of people, they were just like, we're going to go to... So, for instance, we're going to go to Valhalla. Mm-hmm. The joke.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you go there and you have a bunch of people who are wanting to smoke, you have 6 friends. Mm-hmm. They're like, we don't want to buy cigars there. We want to bring our own cigars. Can anyone pick them up very quickly? And I go by a store, and I'm like, I've only got... $20 and I need 6 cigars. They're like, we've got something for you. Mm-hmm. If I brought these, people would not punch me in the face for this cigar if it was $3. That's what I'm getting at. No, it's not great by any stretch of the imagination, but for $3, I would get more of these.
You said no one will punch you in the face.
You would punch me in the face.
I don't think I would, because I haven't yet. But, well, not lately. But
not recently.
I do believe you do have a friend who would punch you in the face for bringing these cigars and expecting people to smoke them.
Which one?
Hold Me Tightly.
Ah, well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Holden, I'm sorry for smoking these. I still love you. You got me there. He's a young man of refined taste.
He is. As far as I know. I've never met the man.
Man, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I want that off.
Well, here, you'll see this. See that? See that falls pretty much right off?
Okay.
As short as that was, that means that these are short filler, which you'd expect from a $3 stick. But,
well, yeah.
As far as I know, the only real difference between short filler and long filler is that short filler doesn't stay together as good. Like people say, oh, long filler. Well, the fact of the matter is, short filler is the cuttings off of the big leaves that they roll for long filler, so it's the exact same leaf. There should be no difference in taste. But this is pretty bad though. The smoke is pretty bad. The tobacco, tobacco was bad.
I gotta assume that the room note is atrocious.
I don't know.
I don't know either because we've been immersed in it.
Yeah.
But I've got to assume it's terrible. Back to the coffee, back to the whiskey. Back to breakfast. I've already had mine.
Yeah, the coffee is
magnificent, by the way. Mm-hmm. Well done.
The coffee is a lot more bitter than what it was. I mean, like, I'm to the point where I'm just as fine one way as the other. I would definitely want some milk in this coffee.
I would too, but I'll also say you can tell that you did a great job making this coffee. Mm. It's quite good. Milk! I'd be poisoned.
Yeah, that's... I mean, as sweet as this is, it just strips all the sweet out of this.
Yeah. This has been an interesting experience. This is the most... well, shall I say, this is the biggest symphony of flavors we've ever experienced while doing this. Not individually, of course. But,
and bacon.
Well, that's part of it. Bacon, eggs, coffee, whiskey, no E for this particular case, it's Irish, and cigars. Well, no, Scottish, sorry, I said Irish, I didn't mean it. I apologize.
I can hear that in the mic.
That was an E flat, for those of you that care. Just making eating noises. This is the greatest podcast ever. It's just all the things that people hate. Two guys talking about annoying guy stuff while making mouth noises. Like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone.
And yet our viewer count has not dropped in a while.
All right. So here's the deal. I think the proper order for this. Let's go ahead and make this clear. The proper order for this should be breakfast, coffee,
lunch, dinner.
Yeah, well, for some people. Breakfast, coffee, bless you, scotch, cigar, scotch.
Breakfast, coffee, cigar, scotch. No.
Well, cigar, scotch.
Cigar,
but scotch, cigar, scotch. Mm-hmm. Why are we talking about this? I really genuinely don't know, but here we are.
I would like to try this, this whiskey with a darker cigar, a darker uncased cigar.
I would like to currently be smoking a darker uncased cigar. But here we are smoking cheap case cigars. So let's go ahead and jump into our topic, by the way.
Okay.
By other person who was walking.
Later, dude. Our topic for the day is... Oh, yes. We're going back to games from our childhood. We will probably not be engaging in these games at the end like we have in the past.
You did not just inhale that. That's kind of terrible.
I was holding it like this, and I didn't realize it, and I was just taking smoke right up my nose.
That's disgusting.
Please continue. It was.
Please continue with your statement.
Because I forgot to put them on my emulator. The only game I have on my emulator is Golden Axe 2. And that's not technically a game from our childhood because we didn't know there was a Golden Axe 2 until we were no longer children. Golden Axe was a game from our childhood.
It's true. Whenever Mom wasn't looking.
Mm-hmm. But not Golden Axe 2.
So let's go over some of these then. That's what we're doing now. The one you mentioned the other day was the one I got the most excited about talking about, Jungle Strike.
Jungle Strike and Desert Strike. Pretty much the same game, which I think Desert Strike was newer, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. No, other way around.
Jungle Strike, other way around? Okay.
Yeah,
they were both for Sega Genesis. They were both old.
We bought them both from Kmart.
Mm-hmm. When Kmart, we could get used games at Kmart for $3.
Used Sega Genesis cartridges from Kmart. In case you were curious as to how old we actually are, that's how old we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when he said, his first time... No, never mind. He didn't say that to you. He said that to me earlier. Never mind.
Remember earlier when no one was listening with the two of us?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember. But
How are there so many flies in my drink?
this game was a top-down, two-dimensional... Okay, so it was two-dimensional in that you only had the X and Y axis, but it was different than most games of the time in that it was not on rails at all. You flew your helicopter around. It was a helicopter game. And you destroyed targets, used your winch to pick up things to carry that you needed to carry.
And people.
Yeah, you had people to rescue, bad guys to kill, buildings to blow up, all kinds of random things that you would do. Pick up ammo drops. There's all kinds of random stuff you would do as part of the game, and you had to take care of stuff. Like, let's see, how do I say this? You had to
watch your gauges.
Yeah, you had to monitor. Everything was limited. All your bullets, all your rockets, everything.
All resources of all kinds.
Your fuel, absolutely everything was limited, and you had to periodically, actually halfway through the mission, go back to your base and land the helicopter to refuel and resupply and everything. It was very thoughtful on that regard. I didn't like that as a kid because to me it made it scary. It was like, I'm going to run out of fuel, and then I often did.
And you crashed a lot. Well, it was interesting because not very many games gave you resources at all in that aspect. I mean, it's one thing, you can't really call it a resource if you pick it up and it's there forever. Mm-hmm. So most games didn't have resources. They had items, or they had powers, or they had blah, 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 whatever. Mm-hmm. But this game had resources. You had X amount of fuel, you had X amount of bullets, you had X amount of rockets. Don't do that again. You had X amount of everything. And you could eventually run out of X, therefore it was a resource. So for us, that was the original horror survivor game.
Even though there's nothing horror about it, it was definitely a pseudo-simulator. Mm-hmm. Top-down action arcade shooter, mission-based. I don't know how I describe it. Really, there were no unless it was a platformer. There were no descriptions for what games were back then.
That's true.
It was an action game, and that was all I can say.
But the question about this, because I don't understand any of how this works or anything. So would this be a situation in which the actual world was loaded? Or was your helicopter in place, and as you moved, the world revolved around it? Because that's a design choice that obviously now, in current video games, you will actually have the entire world will load, and your character will explore it. In older games, almost always, as far as from a production standpoint, your character, your vehicle, your whatever, stood still, and when you moved, the map moved around it and would load as it was moving.
Yeah. I think everything was preloaded, which is why the game actually had something that you didn't see a whole lot of on those days, which was loading screens. Mm-hmm. And also, I think all the maps were fully preloaded onto the cartridge, and so there wasn't much to render. And so, like, they didn't have to, like, obviously there was no, like, installation or anything, SEGA Genesis days. And so that's why, even for SEGA Genesis standards, the graphics weren't good, because they had to
load an entire world,
keep all those things loaded and take care of that.
And I'm going to agree with you because of something else that I remember. You could get shot by things you couldn't see.
Mm-hmm. Off the map.
Yeah, and that did not occur in other games, because technically they didn't exist until you saw them. But these things did exist before you saw them.
Mm-hmm. Well, we just flashed.
Oh, gross. All right. Well, now we've talked about it, since we can't play because you suck at things.
Yeah.
To be fair, the only job that I had, which was getting whiskey and cigars, was literally done at like 8 o'clock last night at the latest. Not the whiskey, but the cigars. So I'm not actually mad. I'm pretending to be, but I am going to burn you with a cigar.
But what am I talking about? Oh yes, other games that we mentioned. There was Road Rash 2. Now, Road Rash 2 was much bigger to us as children than the first Road Rash, even though we did own both of them at some point. But Road Rash 2 was bigger for two reasons. when we first acquired our Sega Genesis, our cousin from whom we acquired the Sega Genesis included Road Rash 2 with the games that he gave to us. So it was one of the first games we ever owned. And the second thing that makes it a thing is that we what am I talking about? Oh yes, the second thing that makes it a thing is that we it was 2-player. That's what it was. Road Rash 2 was 2-player. The first Road Rash was single-player only.
And there weren't a lot of 2-player games that we had at the time.
No, very few. Let's see. That was one. We had Streets of Rage at the time, and that was 2-player. But I didn't include that on the list because everybody's played Streets of Rage. Everybody knows what that is. We don't need to talk about it. But anyone who doesn't know, Road Rash is a motorcycle racing game. That is, it's pretty much a motorcycle racing game, but it was one of the... So, the first Mario Kart was out when Road Rash came out, so it wasn't the first,
Really?
like, action racing game. Yeah, the first Mario Kart, I'm pretty sure, was NES or SNES.
Whoa! Hold on, keep talking, but I'm going to Google that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mario Kart was already out by the time the first Road Rash came out.
Keep talking, I just didn't see this.
So I don't believe that Road Rash was the first, like, action, attack other people racing game. But it was interesting in that it didn't have power-ups. You would find weapons. Sometimes you would start off with one. Sometimes you had to beat up people and steal their weapon from them. But you would, like, have a lead pipe or a baseball bat or a sword. And you'd go up beside people and you'd swing it at them and you'd kill them off their bike. And then, like, you hit them... hit them in the back of the head with your sword, and then, they die and fall off their bike, and then 5 seconds later they'd be back on their bike and pass you up again, and then you have to kill them again with your sword. Is basically how that game went. And we used to make up rules for Road Rash 2, which was the 2-player one, and we'd have crazy rules like, if you see the other player and you know that it is them, don't attack them, just pass them. And so the only players we could actually attack with our weapons were the computer players, because we didn't realize we were competing against each other. We thought we were on a team competing against the AI. Yes.
Which technically we were. Mm-hmm. You were right that they were the same era. I didn't realize it was that early. So Mario Kart Racing Original was released in 1992. Care to guess when the original Road Rash was released?
You have the Sean's wrong look on your face. I'll say 1991.
It is 1991. It's not that you're wrong. I didn't know. But 1991. So that would be older than Mario Kart. Mm-hmm. Look at that. Good job, Road Rash. I don't know if there's one before that or not.
You did it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. And I usually am, so get ready to correct me. Right.
I might just lick this and then not worry about smoking it.
It's delicious. What was that one of the other few games that we had for our very first Sega Genesis games? It was a racing game where you played a little
Sonic
weird
1.
car. No. But I mean, like, it specifically was racing, and you could drop oil slicks.
Pro-Am.
Mm-hmm. There's no way Pro-Am came out after Road Rage. Road Rash. I said Road Rage.
Yeah, and you did pick up like actual power-ups and stuff. Like there were missiles you could pick up. They're all random things you could pick up. If you pushed the button, otherwise you just beep. But then you could pick up oil slicks to drop or missiles to shoot. A gun that you could shoot. I think like it had a couple bullets. Let's look.
I wonder if that's older.
I'll look it up. Sega
Genesis
Pro-Am Racing.
Wow!
1988. No, is RC? Is that the same
1992.
game? Okay, so let's see. Yeah, ported to the Sega Genesis in 1992.
Oh, so but technically
released in 1988 for the
See, that
NES.
makes way more sense because the graphics of that were, as you say, terrible. For considering you were playing it on at that point, well, I guess it would be a 16-bit system, so I guess it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we have other stuff. Let me go back to the text that we have shared so I can see the rest of it, because crazy stuff is great.
I love crazy things, and I love crazy things, so we're in great company.
Okay. I've remembered some more. As far as I know, an extremely unpopular game, but we just happened to find it somewhere.
Okay.
Revolution X.
So Revolution X should have been exclusively an arcade shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an arcade shooter, obviously.
Yeah.
But Revolution
But it was released
X,
for console for some dang reason.
Yeah. So essentially, it was... The band Aerosmith was having a show, and you had to save Steven Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the arcade shooters you see in arcades, where you had the gun, you'd shoot the screen, except you did it with a controller. A SEGA Genesis controller. You were aiming and shooting with that. What are you doing?
I'm trying to find while I'm listening to you talk, I'm trying to find a way to remove this person as a friend. There it is.
Why?
Because it's a bot that keeps sending me fake things.
Oh, not even giving you real free stuff. But yeah, great game.
Yeah. But like, you shoot dots and throw exploding CDs at people because music is your weapon. I don't know what
that
the dots
was the
are.
tagline, wasn't it?
Yeah, the tagline was "Music is your weapon." Ugh. But what was the what were the dots supposed to be? I wonder. It was yellow or orange dots. Like, I remember thinking as a kid that it was music notes, but it's not. It's
technically it could be
dots.
It technically could be music notes. Technically. Because some composers would mark their quarter notes that way. But I don't think the developers of that game knew that. So I have really no clue what in the world was happening. Either way, the game was wild. And like, what was the soundtrack? Because I don't remember, it wasn't Aerosmith music. If it was like really crappy...
exactly.
Weird renderings
really
of
crappy,
it.
weird rendering of Aerosmith music.
Which, by the way, absolutely not. Don't do that.
Drink water?
Well, please drink water. I refuse to do that. A fish screw in it.
But yeah, that's really all it was. You fighting through a bunch of henchmen to rescue Steven Tyler from the men who captured him for whatever the heck reason, and so that way they'd be able to make it to the Aerosmith. They would be able to make it to the Aerosmith concert, and so would you.
I'm sure you got tickets at that point. Mm-hmm. I think if you save Steven Tyler's life, you have Aerosmith tickets for life, which makes you think maybe we should just let him go.
I think something I think is very ironic about Steven Tyler in his old age. Now that he's however old he is, that dude looks like a lady.
Mm-hmm. Ironic. It's a great joke that's been made many times. It's very accurate. Mm-hmm. Interesting thing about him, because you don't expect old rock stars who were in the age of when everyone was constantly drinking and getting random STDs. Mm-hmm. You don't expect them to be around and be coherent or be able to know about things in depth. So I guess this will make more sense when I say this. He is a car collector, but in the way that he knows the types of engines that were swapped out of them, the type of everything, he like rebuilds them. He's extremely bought into the idea and extremely good at driving. It's very weird. I say extremely good as an amateur. Mm-hmm. But interestingly enough, he's not dead and his brain isn't gone. I'm like, how is that possible?
And if you want to know what we mean by people whose brains are gone, argon. It's a noble gas.
It is very gassy. Continue.
The immediate thing we want you guys to think about is Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh my goodness. The poor guy. All those drugs. All those Sharons.
Ugh.
Yeah, you gotta stop doing that. That's not good.
Yeah, it is.
So
Bad, I mean. It is not good.
I'm going to keep saying, I'm going to stand by my original statement. For a $3 cigar, I would give this to my friends in a pinch.
Yeah, but I wouldn't give my friends a $3 cigar. Now, I wouldn't want to give my friends... You know, if I was introducing someone to cigars, I wouldn't want to give them this because I don't want to give them I don't want to give them the idea that this is what cigars taste like.
Yes.
If all you're after is like, man, I really got to give up cigarettes and man, I need some nicotine in my mouth, then this will do the job. Kind of. A little bit.
Some.
But that's the only thing I think this is good for. But like, if I was introducing my friends to the world of cigars, I'd use an inexpensive premium cigar like those Olivia G series that I keep going on about. Like those are like $4 or $5 a stick. They're the cheapest of the premium cigars, but they are.
Okay. I'm going to retract part of my statement then. If there was if that cigar was there for $1 more, of course you go with that one. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if we're with a group of people who smoke cigars, you're getting cigars for those people, or that someone's getting cigars for you, you're one of those people, and someone hands you this cigar, and you know what this cigar is, would you rather not smoke at all, or would you have the cigar? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I would still have it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't not smoke because this is what I have. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
If I was going through my personal humidor, which I don't have, but if I had one, and I was going through it, and I thought I'd like a cigar, and this was all I had in there, I probably wouldn't smoke.
Why?
At that day.
If you walked up and go, I would like a cigar, and you walk up and that's the cigar that you had, you'd go, no.
There's a good chance of it.
I don't think I would.
If I am with some people, and they said, we're going to have, cigars as a group, and they handed me this cigar, I would not refuse it, but not out of it's better than nothing, out of I'm going to be polite to this man that I consider my friend, and
no, because
engage in this.
So here's why I wouldn't do that. And this is you're using a metaphor, and I'm using a real experience. The people that I smoke with are good enough friends that I would love to smoke this and go, this is garbage, right? And we'd go, yeah, it's garbage. We're like, garbage! And then we just talk about how garbage it is, which is fine.
While smoking it.
But that's the thing. We'd still be smoking it. So I would say, no matter what, I smoke this.
Take a huge draw, hold it for a second, and then...
And then try to say that again?
Yeah, just do that.
You got me. Hold on. I know.
It's bad. It's really bad. The tobacco is worse than the Leaf by Oscar Corojo in taste. It's only somewhat redeeming
because
quality.
Of all the casing.
Is the casing masks most of that terrible flavor. So if you smoke it really lightly, just get a little bit of... And you never taste the smoke, or taste it very little, then it's not bad.
Then it's
but
fine.
If you ever taste the smoke, it's so bad.
So, but here's the real comparison. How much were the Leafs?
$6 a stick.
These are half that price. So therefore, they're twice as good as the Oscar.
Okay. So, I want to say this. I don't think of price relatively. I think of it absolutely.
Okay.
So, it's not, are the Oscars twice as good? Or are these half the price of the Oscars? I think of it as not half the price, a difference of $3.
So a difference of $3.
I think of it absolutely, not relatively.
Well, that's only okay, but see, you cheapen the fact that if two different cars are $3 difference in price, it genuinely doesn't matter what the difference in price is. Mm-hmm. You're spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. $3 doesn't matter. But I'm saying
more than $3,000 on a car.
$500. If one car is $497 and one is $500, and those are unmovable prices, you will not consider price to be a factor. If you have this cigar next to an Oscar Leaf, and you know that the cigar It's $3, and that one's $6.
Yeah. So
That's
me,
what I'm
I would choose this over an Oscar, even if they were the same price, because. No, it's not so much that the Oscar. They're both bad. I say the tobacco in the Oscar is better than this. By the way, what was the name of this again? Pirate's Butt.
It should have been. Pirate's Logs, more accurate.
Pirate's Log. Yeah.
That means two things. No.
He keeps record. 80 takes a dump.
I'm sorry.
But it
Itumna.
Itumna. Oh yeah. So technically, the tobacco in the Oscar is slightly better, but they're both bad. This has a redeeming quality. The Oscar has none. So yes, I would pick this over the Oscar, but only but even if they were the same price. But the price of the Oscar, the $6, I think it was $6.
I believe.
No, it was less than that. It was less than that. It was a little less than $4. I paid $18 for 5, so it was a little less than $4. But here's what I'm saying: $3 for this, or $3 something for the Oscar, almost $4 for that. Relatively little price difference, less than $1, it would seem. I think they're both overpriced.
No, I don't, because they're both handmade. So I think by definition, factoring human time.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
What you're gonna say.
you have to pay that.
I know what you're gonna say, but I mean, still, the fact that someone had to oversee the non-handmade, the non-handmadeness of the handmadeness.
Yeah. No, see, what I am saying
still
with this
we make it
is
worth that
not that. No, it needs to be this. I'm not saying it doesn't. It shouldn't be this price. I'm saying because it has to be this price, it shouldn't have been made.
Well, that's that's the same argument that the penny and the nickel shouldn't be made, which I also agree with.
Yeah.
But
okay, so technically it does cost less than 5 cents to make a nickel. So
no, but I mean, like, it takes more than a penny to make a penny.
Yeah.
It takes less than 5 cents to make a nickel. But that being said, people think that those should be done away with because they don't consider them to be of enough value to care if they're always rounded up by 6 cents, 5 cents, 4 cents, 4 snips,
3
who
cents,
cares? 10 cents. No, the concept is. You're saying it shouldn't be made because if it has to be this cost to make this, you'd rather it not exist.
Yeah, because it is not worth this money. To me, it is not worth. I would never pay $3 for this.
But that's
it's
the
not
thing.
worth the $3 to me.
But if you had only because the thing about anything you buy, and cigars are definitely they're one of the things where this is a huge thing. There are many items at the $3 price point, many items at the $10 price point, and many items at the $20 price point. Many of them.
Yes.
So,
And
if
many
you're
items at the
presented
dollar or
with
less price point, we don't like to talk about those.
well, you know, if you were presented with this cigar at $3, the one you just talked about at, we'll say 10. We're just going to put numbers on them. And then, say a really, really great, completely handmade, hand-rolled Cuban cigar at $20. Would you still, if situationally, you would still pick this sometimes? Situationally.
I would not.
But you're saying if you were like, I've only got $3, you would say, I'd rather not buy a cigar at all than have this cigar.
Yes.
That's insane. Because I'd rather have a cigar.
Well, see, I'm not enjoying this.
Okay.
I'm not going to spend $3 to do something I don't want to do.
So let's update all the tastes now because we've been going for a while.
I do that enough already. I'm married.
Oh. There was a guy on Reddit the other day because I follow a cigars subreddit. There was a 58 gauge cigar he was smoking.
A 58 gauge? That's not huge.
It's kind of big. It's not huge, but that's big.
The Oscars were in the low 60s. They were big.
And they're huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
okay, so you know how the ring gauge works, right?
I mean, I just know the differences by them telling me and looking at them by sight.
So a ring gauge is, I believe, a 72nd of an inch, or 64th of an inch, or a 72nd of an inch.
I don't know. But
I don't remember now. I hope it's a 72nd of an inch, because then it's measured by the same as font point.
Font point?
Yeah. Let's see. I'll look it up real quick. Cigar ring gauge. I think it's either a 64th of an inch or a 72nd of an inch.
11/77th of an inch?
Cigar ring gauge. Okay, so the ring gauge is based on 64ths of an inch. So a 58. So like a 58.5 or a 558. I forget what it is. I think it's 58.5. Means the cigar is 58 64ths of an inch in diameter and 5 inches long. But I mean, I like big fat cigars.
Sean likes fat cigars.
Give me a second to remember that tune.
We're gonna yeah, same. We're going to. It's the one you try to block out. Let's update our tastes because of one thing. When I first started this, it was tolerable. And the reason why the conversation is changing, let's just be honest, this is getting way worse as it goes down.
Yeah, the casing is wearing off, and now we're just getting just the smoke. Because that's how it goes. You guys, I don't know what to do with my hands. So I will probably continue to pull on this while we're on we're doing the show, but I'm not going to finish this.
I'm not either. I'm going to change my opinion because I've been giving my opinion without faltering it as we've been going. But as I'm smoking this, it's going further down and the casing's wearing off. I'm agreeing with you more. Because this is bad. I'm glad we smoked it first. Because the other ones we have are also going to be bad.
Also, another thing about this that I just can't get over. The draw is so tough.
So tight. It's so tight. It's crazy.
Like, I can't handle it.
I hate a loose straw. So, I mean, like, I'm not complaining terribly much, but still.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at that. Oh,
I would have preferred, if I were you, I would have preferred to eat that when it was warm.
I don't care. That's the same.
It doesn't feel the same, though. And the texture does change when it's warm. The yolk becomes thicker as it is colder.
Yeah. It's a bit more like egg gelatin, but look at that, though.
It's quite good.
Well, that's so good.
You did make some good eggs this morning. I will hand that to you. They were
I would make good eggs.
I never said you didn't. I was saying they were good. Take a compliment and roll with it. All right, so update on the scotch. We've had these. Let's go in. We both take another sip or two, but let's do it right now. I've taken 4 gnats out of my glass in the course
They like
of
the
this.
scotch?
It is gnat approved.
Okay, so here's the great thing.
You have several, but you're not taking them out.
No. I have a little bit. I still have that little bit of cigar that I dropped because it went down to the bottom. I don't want to stick my fingers all the way down into my drink.
Same.
I'll just decant it off of it. But I haven't had a single gnat go into mine.
Good for you. I'm just sweeter. So give your thoughts while I'm taking a sip.
Okay, so
So
some of the sweetness has come back now that the casing is more off the cigar. It's still not like it was.
I swallowed that wrong.
Okay, so
That wasn't a flinch. I just swallowed it wrong. I coughed.
I'll tell you what it tastes like now. There's a...
It's still really good.
Yeah, there's a...
It's so good. It's so good. I'm dying, though.
There's a blended scotch that I love so much. And by the way, anyone who tells you, they get on there and they say, you can only drink single malt scotch and no other whiskey is good. Those people, I mean, let them stick to single malt scotch if they want to. But those people are wrong in that there is such a thing as good whiskey that's not single malt scotch. This happens to be a single malt scotch.
It happens to be good.
And it's very good. But I'm going to say I have a blended scotch that I like better than this. And actually, whatever it is that I'm tasting in there now, whatever has affected my taste to make a taste different, now it tastes almost just like that blended scotch that I love so much, so I'm going to bring it up. Monkey Shoulder.
You do love monkey shoulder.
I love my monkey shoulder.
So I'm gonna. When did we try that? You had me try some. Was that the first show we ever did?
Okay, so it was right after the first show we ever did. We didn't record it.
Okay, so I only had monkey shoulder one time, and it was after one of my only 2 occasions in my entire life of ever just drinking straight whiskey ever. When and that was number 2, by the way. I'd never had straight whiskey before, ever, except for like take a sip of Jameson, which I couldn't stand at the time.
You really didn't like it?
I didn't care for it a lot.
Well, I was wondering because you said it was number 2.
Oh, it was better than the one we had right before, which was the Four Roses. I'm setting up a statement here.
Said you had monkey shoulder and it was number 2. That doesn't sound like a very high opinion.
And by that opinion, the Four Roses was piss.
Okay.
So, what I'm saying is...
I like the Four Roses, though. It was good.
I like it now. So what I was saying is I do strongly believe that Scotch is a slightly acquired taste. Which is why, and this is a professional opinion that I looked up. I was looking at the other day, just looking at tastings. If you wait a month between tastings, don't dare buy something decent. Because you will no longer recognize the real differences between a $50 Scotch and a $150 Scotch. If you taste them within a couple days, then you'll be able to tell the differences. So, what I'm saying is, I went from never ever drinking Scotch ever, to trying one that I was like, oh, I don't care for this, to another one that I thought this is slightly better. Then we've been drinking Scotch at least weekly since then. So now, I'm thinking that I would have not liked this very much if this was my first whiskey either. But I'm liking this a lot. I'm thinking I would probably like Monkey Shoulder quite a bit now.
Yeah. So, it's very interesting. My introduction to whiskey
Was Jameson?
was Jameson.
I figured.
And I liked it quite a bit, but I had it... My first time drinking it, I bought it because I wasn't well, and I needed... whiskey was going to be a thing that would really help me to recover.
Of course, Timothy.
What?
I said yes, Timothy. Keep
Oh,
going.
yes. And because of that, I got it, and I drank some of it. I poured myself some and drank some of it, but I didn't much like it. But then something strange happened. I put it on my desk, and I forgot about it for the glass of Jameson. I set it on my desk and forgot about it for a couple days.
Oh, so it evaporated more.
So I went back there, and almost all the alcohol had evaporated out of it.
Okay.
And then I took a sip of it then. After that, it was there. Took a sip of it, and it did not taste any bit like alcohol, and all I could taste in it was the grain.
Ugh.
And, like, I tasted, like, the grain and, like, the flavor besides the alcohol.
I can't remember.
And I was able to taste those flavors, and it was so good.
Oh, you're weird.
And ever since then, I've liked whiskey.
Ugh.
Every whiskey that I've tried since then, I liked.
So, and if you keep having some regularly, I can see how you would upkeep that. So that makes sense to me. But that sounds gross. I don't have to junk
I'm not
this
going
in
to
there.
bother relighting that.
I think I'm just gonna junk it. I think we're done here with it.
It's bad. It's real bad.
Just dunk them.
As you can see, the cigars are in the ashtray, and it's closed.
Yeah, forget that. I'm not even gonna put it over here. Forget this nonsense.
That was
rough. There's lots of gnats on my monster. Remind me to dump it into a cup and pick
makers
up
of the pirate's anus.
Stop.
Your cigar's bad, and you should feel
You
bad.
should feel very bad. And is it still better than the Oscar? Halfway through.
Not halfway through, no. Like, because the only redeeming quality it had was the case, which I didn't like the case, but so while I didn't truly enjoy that case, it greatly detracted from the nastiness. And so that helped, and the Oscar didn't have that. But as soon as my lips had removed all the casing from where my lips would go,
That was rough.
it was bad.
It got
It was
rougher.
really bad.
And I guess I should say, I'm glad we. I'm gonna go ahead and prove or tell my previous past self that I was wrong. The further I got through the leaf, I didn't notice it getting worse. I just realized I didn't like it more and more.
Okay, so because of how nasty and bitter and burnt the leaf always started off as, it actually always improved after doing it.
So it was so. That's the reason why I think the opinion is different. It's so bad, but it only gets better from there.
Mm-hmm.
That one started off decent and got unbearable.
Yeah. Well, it's like grab my personal taste notebook.
I just picked it up off the floor a moment ago.
I'm going to open up to a page here. It makes me think. So it's Olivia Series G.
Skip ahead
very
of me, brother.
good. It's the only thing I marked as very good. It was the Olivia Series G. But then we're going to go to this. The Alec Bradley Connecticut. I thought this was interesting. I made some notes about the taste and stuff. And right here I said, it is good. But then I made a note at the bottom. Because I wrote this halfway through the cigar. Then I got down, I made a note afterwards. And I said, note, the last third tastes like boiled anus.
I think we should make that exact same note for this cigar.
Uh-huh.
The last third is like boiled anus.
Mm-hmm.
Only redeeming quality is the very heavy casing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't remember if this was something that I read or something that you said or something we talked about. If you have a cigar and you pull it out and you taste that casing right away, a large portion of the time it's going to be bad. Mm-hmm. But, so for instance...
Yeah, so there is... Okay, supposedly an exception to this. I've never had one of these cigars, but they're the best-selling cigars in the world, so there has to be something to them. I'm certain Acid Brand is that way. You taste the casing as soon as you touch it to your lips, but I guess it's actually good.
I've had several people say that it is good, but what I was going to say was... Ellie always gets flavored cigars. Eileen's Dream, Blue Crush. Now, they are cased lightly.
Obviously. That's what flavored it is.
They are flavored. They are cased lightly. I had one last night. I had a Blue Crush last night while we were playing Call of Duty. It's a magnificent cigar. It's magnificent. It costs like, I don't know, $7 a stick or something.
Well,
and it is cased, but oh my goodness, it's for a flavored cigar, it's flawless. Yeah. Which, by the way, we actually... what was it? Well, the Eileen's Dream was actually what I posted on Facebook or on Instagram the other day. That the brand person who runs social media left a comment on it. I'm very anxious to try other cigars from the same brand. The CAO is that what it was? I always get it mixed up, and because the dyslexia kicks in too hard. Yeah. CAO, AOC. I'm just a terrible person. But I went on their website, and they actually have some mild and some mediums and some darks that aren't flavored. And I want to try them very badly because their flavored cigars are, oh my goodness, they're flawless.
Okay.
But that's going to be one that we should go into soon.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing cigars.
And also, the one thing you said they were $7 a stick. I don't think
probably $6 and change.
Well, either way, $6, $7, $5, $6, $7, $8 that area. While that's not, top of the line cigars, those would be low end premium cigars.
And they are.
And I don't. Now you may find one that you don't like, but I don't think you're going to find an objectively bad cigar at that price range.
I don't think so. I'm sure there are some.
Yeah.
That are new enough that people haven't boycotted them yet.
Well, I think we have fairly well exhausted our topic.
I'd say so too. We even rambled way more than we should have.
Yeah, and we have a couple more minutes before our actual time to be actually done. And so I'll leave this up to you to decide if you want to do this or not.
All right.
But, so, just so you know, everyone, if you guys are interested in seeing this, and we decide not to, I'm leaving it up to him. So, if you want to see this and you don't get to, it's on him. Would you like to find a video and use that video and grab some of those papers and play a quick round of Sovereign Citizen Bingo?
We have time.
Yeah. The papers are there underneath the blue metal glass. The metal glass.
The blue metal glass.
All right, and I do. I have a pencil.
I believe there's a pen right here. I'll have one. Are these at random, by the way? Yes,
yeah,
they are.
They're random. So I haven't looked over the order for any of them. So I'll just take
the top
any.
one, and I'll take the one underneath. Do you have anything solid to write on? Other than D's nuts.
I mean, you can always grab a book.
I almost set that on the Bible. I'm not going to use the Bible as something to write on.
I appreciate that.
That is a bunch of nonsense, and I won't abide by it. I found this pizza box as one item. Would you like your...
I'll use my desk.
Oh, well.
Okay, so obviously, you have your free space right in the center. Everyone has that. And we will... Let's go to YouTube. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to find Donut Operator. Because... So we're gonna go find Donut Operator, Sovereign Citizen thing. We're gonna go here. He has a fairly recent video.
Hi everyone, Donut here. Today we're gonna...
What's up, Donut?
Hi Donut, how you doing? And I kind of want to see this.
Florida Man game. We'll have to watch that at some point, but not... It's an hour, and we don't have that kind of time.
Actually, I need to research this. Not research this, but there's a... this is the one. Okay, so the reason why I want to go to this video is because he shows the name of the person who published this video, and this person publishes lots of Sovereign Citizen Sovereign Citizen videos, and so we're going to go to that person's page. And because he said that person posts lots of Sovereign Citizen videos. Oh. There we go.
In 1 and 2.
Van Balen 2.
While you're looking
Van
that up.
Balen. There we go.
While you're looking that up. Quick description of what a sovereign citizen is.
Oh, yes. A sovereign citizen, or a citizen of the world, or some other such, is an individual who... What's the best way to describe what a sovereign citizen is?
I know.
They use unofficial documents and unclear legal precedent to pretend that they are above the law.
Very unclear.
That's the best way to describe how sovereign citizens operate. That may not be the best. I don't know if that's a good way to say what they are. That's a good way to say what they do. Like things like there was a court case in the Fifth Circuit Court called People versus Battle. And by the way, I love that they used that because that was only a decision of the Fifth Circuit Court, and therefore that precedent doesn't really have bearing in other places unless your judge chooses to adopt it. Your local judge chooses to... he can review that, but whatever. So a decision by the Fifth Circuit Court does not does not dictate the laws of the entire country, is what I'm saying. But in the Fifth Circuit Court, some judges were after... wanted to get all of the information for this person, and they even gave the judges traffic violation information. And the judges say, we're interested in serious crimes, not traffic violations. And so now these people have taken that to mean, according to People versus Battle, traffic violations are not crimes, and things like that. And so there's all sorts of crazy stuff that they try to do. They'll use a thing called Black's Law Dictionary, which is not an official like legal document. It's just someone that defines things.
It's a book with definitions that aren't the best.
Yeah, and so it's pretty funny.
If you can watch this and start agreeing with them, I assume that you believe the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
And then I'm not even making a joke. My next assumption is you're going to talk about flat Earth theory, and I'm being serious.
So let's see. So we're going to drag this over here, full screen it,
Our
and then
window
we're
was
going
very
to
cluttered.
grab
Did you see
this.
that? That was terrible.
What?
All right.
Okay. So now we're going to cut to there.
Okay.
And then drag this over.
Okay.
And now we're just going to hop over. Okay.
This is that's us there.
This is what's being shown now.
Beautiful. Let's watch this.
Okay. And now we're going to just click on this
Before you start
first
the video. So
Yes.
this is Sovereign Citizen Bingo. Is like bingo. Everyone's handed a sheet of. They're the same things, right? But they're in different spaces, like bingo would be.
I think they all have the same thing.
So there's a limited number of... Normally in bingo it would be numbers. In this case it is terms. Article 4. I don't need a driver's license. Black's Law Dictionary. That sort of thing. 5th article. They say these sort of things on them. And then as the people in the video say these things, you check them off and try to get a bingo, which is, for the people who've never played bingo, 5 spaces, correct?
Yes, 5
Diagonal, left,
connected
right,
actual spaces. I believe diagonal does count because anytime you can get 5 direct spaces.
5 in a row, essentially.
Yeah. Now, I have seen them playing this game, and they watched 2 videos, and they want to see how far they could go. In the 2 videos, they filled out all 25 spaces.
Okay.
It was great. But I'm not going to watch any of those videos. We're going to watch all our own videos.
I have not committed a crime. Sir, I have not committed a crime, so I'm not required to provide my ID.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, there we go.
Hold on. Where's that
Okay.
at? I know for sure that's on here.
Traffic laws are not crimes will count as I have not committed a crime.
We're going to
He's
do
pulled
it.
over for a traffic violation.
I've got mine. It's already right in a row.
Alright.
Do you say he doesn't need a driver's license? Did I hear that? He doesn't need ID? Can we...
He said, I don't need to show you my ID. That's different.
Oh, that is. That's very different. That's
Yes.
not, I don't need one. Okay, continue.
I made a lawful stop of you. If you don't provide it, you will be arrested for concealing ID. Do you understand that?
I understand you're violating my rights.
Sir?
That's
what's
gotta
going
be
on.
There's
Hold
got to
on.
be on here. You can't do this.
I'm doing it.
You can't do this.
Magnificent.
Yeah, because we go with close enough. Like if he calls himself a free inhabitant, we'll count that for Article 4.
Yes. Under Article 4, I'm a free inhabitant.
What's going to happen? It's your choice. We can make it easy or hard. Just make it easy. It's better for you.
You're violating my rights.
Sir?
Where's that?
I have constitutionally protected rights.
I know my rights.
Where's it at? Is it on here?
Yeah, you should have. I
I know my rights there.
Sir, that's the option. You can make it
Okay,
easy or
well that's
harder.
fine. Whatever you want to do.
All
I'm
right.
not answering any more questions.
Sir?
I have the right to remain silent.
Sir?
Fifth Amendment?
You're going to be arrested.
He said the right to
for
remain
concealing
silent.
ID.
Oh, yes, there it is. Yep, I didn't see Fifth Amendment.
And you will go to jail and the vehicle is going to be towed. It's that simple.
Whatever. I don't answer questions.
What?
I don't answer questions.
There's no way that's
All
not
right,
on
you're
there.
going to be arrested then, sir.
Well, it's not. I for sure would be.
You're going to make it the hard way?
You gonna violate my rights?
I'm not violating your rights.
Yes,
I
you
made a
are. Yes, you
lawful
are.
stop. I made a lawful stop, sir.
You're violating my rights.
I made a lawful stop.
Okay, well, this is...
Okay?
We got this on video. Come on. Go ahead.
Fine.
Do what you gotta do.
All right, sir. We're going to have to do that. You understand? It's your choice.
No. You're violating my rights.
I made a lawful stop, sir. You're not concealing your ID.
I'm not required to provide my identification unless I've committed a crime, and I have not committed a crime.
You
We're gonna
don't
pause
have
that.
lights on your
Yeah.
trailer.
That is absolutely not the case!
That is 100% false.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard!
Yeah, and then in the state of Pennsylvania versus Mims, also the thing is, even if you have not committed a crime, if the police officer asks you to get out of your vehicle, you are required by law to do so.
Get out, just, oh my goodness.
And
Look,
that,
I know we're white.
That was not Fifth Circuit Court. That was the United States Supreme Court.
And look, I get it. Before anyone says it, we know we're white. But also, come on. We're aware.
Yeah,
But
we're
still.
not stupid.
But still.
That's not a crime.
Sorry, it is.
No, it's not.
That's them.
No, it's
Your
not.
choice, sir.
Okay, it's gonna be your job.
This guy has so much more.
Oh,
there, well,
It's gonna be your job. So that.
There it is. Where's you're getting fired? There's no way it's
Oh,
not
I
on
didn't
here.
hear him say that. All right,
He said you're
getting
gonna lose
fired.
your job. You're
Yeah,
getting
that's
fired.
it. You're getting fired. Yep.
I'm waiting
Yeah.
for
No,
Yeah, it is.
you going to
This
jail.
guy's a hero. There's no way I
What
could be
you
this
want?
restrained.
Now, this man is showing great restraint, but as quickly as he stated he was going to be breaking the windows and getting in, I don't think we can check very patient officer though.
No, we can't. We cannot.
But he's actually somewhat close.
Do what you gotta do.
there it is.
Broken window.
You're coming out. All right. How do you want to do this?
You gonna violate my rights?
I'm not violating your rights.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No,
I have the right to. I have the right to travel on these highways.
There it is, traveling.
I made a lawful stop. Are you coming out?
Nope.
You're not?
Uh-uh.
Well, you will be, sir. You're going to be arrested. For
You're violating my
concealing ID.
rights. I hope you know that.
Concealing ID.
I hope you know that. Oh, you're bad. You're bad, huh?
What'd you say?
I'm putting another check on broken window.
Okay.
For no real reason.
Come on
other
out.
than-
Both you guys are bad, huh?
Come on out.
All right. We didn't bingo on that one, but that's fine. We have another option.
Goodness.
Freeman calls 911 on cops during traffic stops.
Let's do it.
Menard, I'm at the corner of
Kingston Road and Old Kingston Road.
Kingston Road and Old Kingston Road. I'm traveling with my friend. We are in front of the Grand Motel. We got pulled over by one of your officers. He was quite aggressive, I thought. And when I tried to help him, he's apparently conducting an investigation and provide him with information. And he ended up calling back up. We now have 3 police cars. We're people of peace, 4 police cars. We're like completely unarmed, completely peaceful people, and we're concerned for our own safety at this point in time. What's that?
There's no way
What?
that's not on here, that they're concerned for their own safety. There's no way.
You'd think
It's
so.
not, it's not.
Yeah, it's not on here. Okay, so the guy who made this donut operator, he made a new one, a digital one, that you could just click on and it automatically checks it for you. It's like a digital thing. And instead of having 24 and then a free space, he has like 60 things. And everything is completely random, so there will be some that I have that you don't, and so on.
All right.
But I didn't go and print those out.
This is perfectly fine.
Yeah, we're stopped in front of the Grand Motel, and he wasn't happy with my friend. No, that's not me. That's my friend, and my friend is not. He's got his own political beliefs. I don't want to go into them. In any event, he has no intention of doing anything that would require such a level of aggression here, and he's only exercising his rights to travel from his perspective, and that's why. And he was told that he could be arrested if he didn't identify himself. I then have him on tape identifying himself properly and according to what's required according to the courts. And then your officer got a little bit, I don't know, he didn't like the fact that he didn't get to see the document.
Okay, so I turned down, it looked like the chrome was very, very loud, so I turned down the chrome. So what I'm doing is I'm turning down the chrome so that we are going to be louder than the chrome, but then I'm turning up our headphones so that we can hear it loudly.
Audio stuff.
I tried to confirm.
Yeah, it's still louder than us, but we're okay.
According to the courts, when dealing with a peace officer, providing our name, our date of birth as we know it, and whatever our address is sufficient. And I'm not sure about whether or not he's operating under the Highway Traffic Act. My concern is that you guys know that come what
Highway traffic, that's actually not on here.
It is not on there.
may, we're peaceful people. There's no need for any sort of intimidation or violence.
Can you put the parking brake on, please?
I wanted to talk to the sergeant and make sure.
Mechanical fitness of your...
I'm going to say I want to talk to the sergeant. I'll count that for call your supervisor.
100%.
That,
Can you put the parking brake on?
sorry?
No.
Hello? Why'd you call 911? Who called 911?
What's that?
Who called
Excuse
911?
me?
You called 911. I'm here to help you. What do you need?
Okay, well,
What do you need? Answer my question.
I'm
What do you
concerned
need?
for my safety.
Step out. I'm here to protect you. Step out of the car.
Okay, thank you. I'm concerned about your
911,
actions.
I'm here to help you. Step out of the
Sir,
car.
you have to see this man. He's banging on the window. He's acting all aggressively. Apparently, he's violent towards me.
Oh, we're in
Call
Canada.
911.
Thank you. I'm good. I'm talking to the officers now.
Okay,
I feel
so let's
that I'm
check
happy
very
now.
patient officer.
Oh my goodness, yes.
But
Calling 911 when there's emergency vehicle.
I think we'll have to switch videos because this being in Canada, a lot of these are based on U.S.
yeah,
things,
I
and
see
so
what it was.
we're not going to see that in
I
Canada.
will agree with you. That's what he's saying, eh?
So let's First Amendment auditing. First Amendment auditors, sovereign citizen arrested. This will be a good one.
Oh, this will
This
be
looks like
beautiful.
U.S.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going all right. How about you?
Hey, I'm sorry because of your tag. You don't have a legal license plate on your vehicle.
Has there been a crime committed?
I know how this bill goes. Do you have your driver's license?
Has there been a crime committed?
Bring another check by
Can I have
very
your
patient
name and
officer.
badge number, please?
You have your driver's
Say what?
I'm putting another check by very patient officer.
license.
Do you mind giving me your name and badge number so I know who I'm dealing with, please, sir?
Sir, you need to identify yourself.
I mean, I'm asking for you to identify yourself.
You're identifying yourself, and then we'll talk about mine.
Have I done anything unlawful?
Yes.
Yes, your license plate.
That's unlawful.
Yes. Hang away. Of you step out here. Go ahead and step out for me.
We're this close to being able to check corpus delicti.
Any guns, knives, anything like that on you?
I don't answer any questions.
Hands right here. Spread your arms for it. Look for it. Spread your feet. No guns, knives, stuff like that?
I don't answer any questions without a lawyer.
All right, let's walk right back here.
What's the reason I'm being under arrest?
Not under arrest.
I mean, if I'm not free to go, then I'm under
Am I
arrest.
free to go?
All right. We're going to find out who you are first, okay?
My name is Andrew Albert.
Okay. You have any ID?
I don't have any ID.
None at all.
No driver's license. No registered tag. This is my property. It's my private property. It's my personal conveyance. And I'm exercising my right to travel. Is that okay?
I need this.
We'll
ID.
count. It will say I don't
Some
need a
kind of
driver's license for that.
identification. Have you ever had a license in Alabama?
I'm not going to answer any questions without an attorney present.
What'd you say your name was?
Andrew Albert. What was your name, please?
Officer Barksdale.
And can I have your badge number and your command?
11090.
And your command?
Command, like officer in charge?
Yes.
Who is our officer in charge today?
So I'd like to know your command. And why do I have all these privateers surrounding me right now?
Privateers. Well, we're gonna pause it.
Wow! Privateers!
That's the dumbest thing I've heard yet. That's the dumbest one. Okay, no, here's why this is the dumbest. Here's why this one's the dumbest.
Mm-hmm.
If you are this up on this stupid nonsense lingo, that you are this much against government control, and you call the policemen privateers, that's dumb.
Yeah. Okay.
That's next level stupid.
So, I assume that everyone knows what is a privateer, but let's operate on the assumption that there's someone who does not.
Okay.
So I will define an easy definition of privateer for anyone who happens not to know what they are. And that is, a privateer is a pirate, a thief, that is being paid by the government, and what they're doing is being sanctioned by the government. So a Spanish privateer would go and rob and destroy English ships, and the Spanish government is paying them to do it, and they're being sanctioned.
And the reason why this is dumb is they're acting like the police station has existed for hundreds of years before the government comes in, and now the government's coming in to do things, except for that the police force is created by the government. Mm-hmm. So it's a distinction that you think someone who's this much up on nonsense lingo would be super on top of, and use a different insult. Please continue.
I don't know. I don't have any first-hand knowledge of that.
Of your birthday?
Yeah. Were you aware when you were born?
Yes.
You were. So you knew the date when you came out.
Right, I've got the
That's
certificate.
pretty good. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you, sir. We're going to have your information.
Has there been a crime committed?
Yes.
What crime has been
First of
committed?
all, you don't have a driver's license. Second of all, you don't have a license plate.
What probable cause did you have to get behind me?
That license plate.
And that's a crime.
Yes.
What were you doing in Helena?
I mean, I'm just traveling.
Okay, who were you traveling with?
I mean, I'm not going to answer any I wasn't traveling with anyone.
There's a female that was with you.
Oh, that was a lady who asked me to pick her up at the library to look at her pressure washing her house.
And where was her house?
Plantation Place.
And how did she get your information? Why you?
Why, she's some kind of criminal or something?
Well, we're just trying to figure out how you come from nowhere to pick up some lady in a park to look at a pressure washer.
A pressure washing job.
Okay.
And I don't understand how that's a crime.
Stand here.
Okay. Well,
Stand here for a second.
your van also matches a burglary suspect.
Really?
Yep.
From where?
From our city.
And from your city?
Yes.
What city is that?
It's Helena.
And what was your name and badge number, please?
My name's Officer Murphy.
And your badge number?
We don't have badge numbers.
He had a badge number, you don't have a badge number. That's
He
pretty
works for
interesting.
Well, he works for the city of
So what would
and
be
I
your
work for the
command
city
in
of-
this?
My command?
Yeah, what is your command?
I don't have a command.
Do you have your training manual in your car?
I'm not required to have my training manual.
But did you go through training? Proper training? Okay, well it says right in there that you, upon request, have to
Check mark number
identify
3 on
yourself by your
verification
name,
officer.
your badge number,
Say what?
Checkmark number 3 on verification officer.
Put like 5 or 6 for this guy.
I'm doing
your
two.
command.
I'm doing
Did you go through my training?
I I know all about the training.
So, but you didn't go through my training.
But all training is that way.
All training.
All,
What training did you go through?
I mean, I study law.
Okay, so when you were in
I'm
law,
not going to answer any more questions.
Yes.
White people, can you stop this, please? Please quit doing this. This is stupid. Why is it always some old white guy? Why? What is wrong with them?
Having watched several of these videos, most of the videos that you see are we're on YouTube. Most of the videos, like the vast majority of these videos that you see, the people are very, very dark white. Is the most YouTube friendly way to say it.
There's the best videos of this girl. She sounds like she's a teenager.
Oh yes, the you're going to lose your job. You don't know your laws.
The reason why this is the best is because all three of these people were committing crimes and doing unlawful things, and they got caught doing it.
Yeah.
But every time you hear, every video of these I've ever seen, I've only seen about a dozen or so, it's always some old white guy that I want to punch dead in the face for saying the dumbest, most trying stuff you could imagine.
So, it is always, I will say it is always a person who you want to, in all of the videos, it's always a person you want to punch dead in the face who's saying the most retarded, most trying stuff. I will say that. It's not always an old white guy, but
every time I
everything else always applies.
It seems like it's always an old white guy when I watch these videos. Let's continue the video.
Yeah.
You have no probable cause, no crime has been committed. You're saying I matched some kind of suspect, but you don't have any probable cause or evidence to back up and support your claims. That's pretty interesting, facts. I don't have one. I'm not going to answer any other questions. If I'm not free to go.
Here's the thing. If you lie about the name that you gave us, that's not your full name.
That's my proper name. That's the only legal name that I can go by. Do you understand?
I'm going to tell you this.
And I do not require your services, nor do I wish to join her. Do you understand that?
If you don't give the proper name to avoid a warrant, it's a felony.
That is a proper name. I just gave. So you just said, based on your testimony, if I don't give the proper name, that is my proper name.
Full name.
Full name. No, you said proper name. So now you're backtracking, going against your own statement.
No, I'm telling you.
No, you're going against your own statement. On and for the record, I do not require your services, nor do I wish to join her.
Whoa. Go back to that blue officer.
I warned you. Alright.
No, you're going against your own statement. On and for the record, I do not.
So I know he used to work for the sheriff's department here for a while and also in Georgia a while ago. Is this an older video, and is that Jeff Hensley?
I don't require your services, nor do I wish to join her.
He said he didn't have to mess with these people in the past.
Is that a threat?
No, I just gave you full warning.
What is the exact warning?
If that is not your full name, and
I never told you it was my full name. I told you 3 times that's my proper name.
All right, what is your full
now
name?
it's a fact in this case.
Okay, that's obstruction of justice to use a false identity.
That's not a false identity. It's the only legal. 18 U.S.C. 1342. Right. Look it up. I guess you don't care about the law, do you?
I do.
Because y'all are all privateers, business license privateer. You're not in your official capacity. You're here in your private capacity right now, trespassing upon me. And that is the facts.
This guy's
it's
driving
apparent that y'all don't really know the law.
This guy's driving a beat up old tractor, isn't he?
That face.
Very patient officer. Okay.
So you got an eyewitness that says that a crime has been committed? Because if so, I require them to come down and point me out, identify me as the person who committed the crime.
Okay.
We're getting so
Man,
close to Corpus Delicti every time.
Detective Belanca, 11080.
Thank you very much. Do not consent to any illegal search and seizure.
I do not
consent.
consent.
Do not require your services, nor do I wish to join nor contract with you in any way.
We're both so close.
Go turn around.
I will.
Of course he looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being kidnapped.
In jean shorts.
It's not a good look, buddy. Sir, I don't know who you are, but I hope you went to jail. I hope you were there for a long time. I hate you.
Alright, let's...
Border
Patrol breaks Sorensen's window and tase him for not complying. Let's try this one. I haven't seen this
Let
one
me ask
either.
this. Are you placing me under arrest?
You are under arrest.
And what crime? What crime?
You want to say, am I being detained? For that one.
Let's do it.
Okay.
That's not bingo for me either way, so.
Yeah, me neither. I'll tell you the ones I need to get one right off.
Okay, go ahead.
I need to get one right now. I need taxation is theft, or people versus battle, or Black's Law Dictionary.
So that's funny. I need taxation is theft, Black's Law Dictionary, or Article 4.
Okay.
Am I being charged with?
Hey, these guys are telling me that a canine alerted to your vehicle for the presence.
And I've asked repeatedly for that dog to be brought back out because I say that it didn't happen. And they are refusing to get the dog back out because they know that they're not telling the truth.
You can do one.
Because I wouldn't answer their questions, they came up with that.
Or I'm going to take you out of the car.
Well, let me ask this. When you place someone under arrest, don't you have to put them under arrest for something specific?
I'm a police officer. I'm ordering you out of the car.
Will you answer my question, police officer?
Yes, I'm a police
What are you placing me under arrest for?
Prepare to obey me right now.
So I have to obey you by law?
Yes, you do.
Even when you're stopping me without cause?
Stopping without cause.
Okay.
Do you want to count that as Terry v. Ohio?
No, because I want him to say it.
Okay.
Pause again. The whole point of these videos is that these people are throwing out the most ridiculously vague legal terminology. So unless they say it, then I don't count it for that one. I would say you'd have to say Terry v. Ohio.
Okay. Then they say stop without cause. Then that won't be Terry v. Ohio.
Correct.
Then we will. Then besides him just saying Terry v. Ohio, I would say the two things that we would count besides him outright saying that would be Terry stop or unlawful stop or unlawful search.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
Oh, it's his video.
Yeah. Most of the time,
You suck.
yeah. Because they like to post these videos because they think they win.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really stupid. I like it.
You know what? Is there one for getting tased?
There's not one for getting tased, but there is one that I would like to put in for this. Because I think he deserves it. Screaming woman.
Okay. I'll put it in there. I'm definitely counting it now.
Yeah.
This is the most hilarious sovereign citizen.
Alright, so we will... back out of this. I forgot to shake. Because we said we were counting.
We are.
That is that sovereign citizen and flat earther trespassed and arrested at a post office.
Sovereign citizen and flat earther. See, this is what I mean. This is what I have to assume you're a flat earther.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please turn that.
So we need to really quickly.
Pick my nose, sorry.
Yeah, we'll skip to where the police
I'm
show
in a
up.
federal place where I pay federal taxes to be here, and there's no rule. You might. I'm trying to send mail. Sir.
If they ask you to leave, you need to leave.
Right, but I'm a customer. I'm trying to figure out how to have my constitution.
Because we're running out of time.
I'm allowed to record in a federal building.
Do you have an ID on you?
I don't need to show you my ID.
Yeah, you do.
Am I being detained or am I free to leave?
We have both of those
What
right
reason am I
there.
being detained?
Servants here and for trespass.
Causing a disturbance. I've got everything on film.
Okay, you're gonna need to see an ID on you. What name is he giving you?
Yeah, I do want. It's on his mail.
I don't need to give a name. I have a constitutional right.
You're detained.
For what?
You need to identify yourself to this officer right
Why
now.
am I being detained?
Okay.
Is why am I being detained on here?
No, but I'm going to go ahead and say all these that are remaining are pretty much all go around traffic stuff. So I think we would want this. This one here is the traffic one.
Mumbo Jumbo, is that what that said?
Mhm.
Police needs to let you know you're being audio and video recorded.
Okay.
You know the reason I'm
No, I don't.
What's that?
I don't.
It's just your tints, man. Your tints are far too dark and you got tints on the front windshield. You're not allowed to do that.
Alright, I get that. I get that.
Are
Situated.
you the registered owner?
I get that situated.
Are you the registered owner of the car?
May I speak to a supervisor?
You want to speak to a supervisor in
Yes.
reference to what?
I just want to speak to a supervisor.
In reference to? I mean, I can get a supervisor out here. I just need to let him know what you're calling him out here for. You know what I mean?
Because I have these papers right here.
Okay.
So I'll get the tip took off.
Okay.
But if it's a problem, then I would like to speak to a supervisor.
What do you mean if it's a problem? Like if it's illegal?
No, like I know that it's not illegal because I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
Okay.
But I'm saying
pause it again.
Yeah. Not driving, but traveling is the worst.
I've seen 3 different people say this now. Why?
Because,
you are in fact driving.
Yeah, because they say I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Therefore, when a person, when it says if you're driving this and this and this and this and this, and they think that exempts them from the laws because they say, but I'm not driving.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's utterly ridiculous.
God dang,
I mean, we can
guys.
agree on that.
So I'm just saying, if that's a problem, then I would like to speak to a supervisor.
Okay, I understand that. I'll get a supervisor started out here. Okay? You got your license or any sort of identification with you?
No.
You don't have any sort of identification?
No.
Do you have a Maryland driver's license?
I don't have a driver's license because I'm not driving anymore.
I know, I understand that. But you know, you're operating a motor vehicle. You and I can agree on that. You say that you're traveling, I say you're driving. We can agree on the grounds that you're operating a motor vehicle, yes? You're currently in Baltimore County.
Can I speak to a supervisor?
I'm going to get explaining all this out to you. I see you
Right.
got your video started. I want to give you the best explanation that I can, okay?
Yes, sir.
So you and I can meet on the common grounds that you're operating a motor vehicle on Baltimore County roads in the state of Maryland. Yes? We agree on that. You're not driving, you're
I
traveling.
don't agree with that.
You don't agree with
I agree that I'm traveling.
You're traveling on Baltimore County roads in a motor vehicle that you're operating.
Can I speak to a
Oh my goodness, bro!
No big deal. Alright? I'm just going to grab your name real quick.
I am me Bay.
What's, are you the registered owner?
I am me Bay.
No, I understand that. Is this your vehicle? Or did you steal it? You borrow it?
I would like. Can I speak to a supervisor?
Like I said, I'm gonna get one started out here. No big deal. All right.
So we need to pause this again.
Uh-huh.
So this is the case. You can be charged with not giving them, if you don't give them your license.
Yes.
Right? And then you give them a name that isn't your name that they can look you up and search you for.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually against the law.
Yes, in most states, failure to identify is a crime.
And I'm betting the entire East Coast is that way because the East Coast is incredibly strict.
Mhm.
So continue, please. We need to bingo very quickly.
You have insurance for the vehicle?
Can I please speak to a supervisor?
I'm gonna get one started out here. Like I said, no big deal.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. Thank you.
But also,
All right, let's skip till
You
the
mind if I
cop
look over
comes
this
back. Oh,
stuff?
he's already back.
Look over what?
Your paperwork right there. I just want to make sure I don't violate any sort of your code of ethics. All right. You mind if I take it and read it?
how many check marks
Okay.
am I putting
All
on
right.
verification
Do I need to read that one as well?
That's an oath.
Say what?
How many check marks am I putting on verification officer right now?
Another like 18.
That you guys take as to the
Okay.
office. That's the oath that you take.
Do I need to read that one as well?
This is just the court papers that back it up, but I would like to speak to a supervisor.
Okay. You mind if I read that? I'd like to. I mean, I'd like to understand a little bit more about what you're saying. You know.
Can I speak to a supervisor?
I'm gonna request a supervisor as soon as I go back to my
All right.
vehicle.
Okay.
Like I said, I just want to understand a little bit more. I don't want to violate any sort of your code of ethics or anything like that. 5.
Skip until
I
he's
pulled your
talking again.
picture up
That's
in the-
my
in the
ex-relation of me.
car. Okay, yeah, I pulled your picture up in the car. So here's the thing: when you went to the MVA to get your learner's permit, you submitted to a whole bunch of rules and regulations to follow. Okay, I'm just letting you know. I know that you're driving without a license. You're driving with a learner's permit. I have a couple options right now, okay? I can give you a whole bunch of tickets, give you a whole bunch of warnings, or I can make you get out of the car, find another ride, and tow your car because you're driving without a license. That's where we're at right now. So, if you want,
speak to a supervisor.
my supervisor's on the way out here right now.
All right.
Like I said from the very beginning, no big deal. So, is this how we're going to play it? Because I'll go back and I'll start writing the tickets right now. You can go ahead and call for a ride because I'm going to tow the car. You're driving without a driver's license. So, if you want to keep this charade up, I mean, like I said, I'm cool with towing your car. That doesn't make a difference to me. But you got
Now
that all
colored
on video.
in, very
I've been
patient
nothing but
officer.
nice to you. I've explained everything to you. What's it going to be? My supervisor's on his way out here right now. You
But
want
he
me
just
to go start
can't.
writing the tickets?
I want you to get the supervisor.
He's on his way out here right now.
All right.
All right, but I'm going to be proactive and productive and start writing those tickets for you. All right? Do me a,
And where the paper that I gave you? Do you guys have
that officer has it right there, I believe.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I was reading through it.
All right.
Here's my supervisor rolling up right now.
All right.
So it would probably be in your best interest. I know you got your video up and you want to keep that going, but you're gonna have to make a phone call. I saw, your zip code's 21216. That's not close, so you're probably gonna call somebody to give you a ride. Okay? All right. I'll be right back.
Dude, just why?
Hey, can I have that paper? Oh, give it to the supervisor. To the supervisor.
Buddy, why?
On the traffic stop.
The right to travel. The right to mode of conveyance.
Where'd you get that piece of
The
paper?
right to... You take an oath to it, Constitution.
Oh, okay.
I just gave him the paper.
You printed
I
that
just
out
gave him the
yourself?
paper right there. That's what officers take an oath to. So, can I speak to a supervisor?
He's getting ready to walk up.
All right.
But we have to have a way to ID you.
No,
Right.
I have to have a way to ID you.
And
You
you'll
guys
get,
pulling me
you'll
over.
get the officer's name that
No,
stopped you.
can I have your badge number?
I'm just trying to help him out maybe by trying to talk to you before they come up here and things go away that you might not want them to go.
I would like to speak to a supervisor.
So you have no ID on you at all.
Do you have an ID on you?
Sure, right there.
What's your badge number?
That's my name right there.
What's your nationality?
That's none of your business.
So when I identify myself to you guys, it's it. Can I speak to a
Tells your
supervisor?
nationality.
Yes, it does.
Dude,
It tells
why?
you that the ID that you guys are looking for. You think I'm gonna give you guys a I'm not,
Right.
because that's what you guys take an oath to. I have my right to
Why are you
travel
the only one that has a problem with this? Why does everybody else?
because everybody else is lacking of knowledge.
Oh, okay. So you're smarter than everybody else. That's
I'm not
why you
saying
don't
that.
want
I
to
just
do
want to
that.
speak to a
You're
supervisor.
new to this, aren't you?
No.
Because normally guys that have been doing this a while don't need a piece of paper to read from like you.
I mean,
You're new
that's
to
what
it,
you
right?
guys take oath to.
You're new to this, right?
That's what you guys take oath to.
You're new to this though, right?
No.
The piece of paper you're holding?
No.
You must. If we can't ID you, you might have to. So. You don't have anything in the car you shouldn't have, right? Where are you coming from? Work? School? Store? Nowhere?
I just want to speak to a supervisor, that's all.
Hey, Mr. Jackson. So I got my supervisor right here. This is Corporal
How you
Sager.
doing, Mr. Supervisor?
This,
Hey,
this
can
is Mr. Jackson. This is Corporal Sager.
Can I have your badge number?
Sure, 5783.
5783?
Yeah, again, my name is Corporal Sager. You can see right here.
All right. Can I have that paper that one of you? He has it. That officer has it.
What paper is that?
Is it paper that you guys take an oath to? That officers take an oath to?
Okay, so here's where we are, Mr. Jackson. We possibly identify who you are.
But that's not me. That's not me as the flesh.
But that's the name that you had to use to the MBA to get the privilege to drive. Unfortunately, your privilege to drive is not complete because you only have what's called Class C learners. In the state of Maryland, somebody with Class C learners needs to have somebody over a certain age with a valid license in the driver's seat to be able to continue driving. Okay? So I know that you're not the one that came up with these rules, right? You may not have even, you're a younger man, you may not have even voted for somebody who came up with them. Okay? But they are the rules that we follow here on the streets of Baltimore County.
That you guys follow. They're the rules that you guys, that applies to you guys, not me.
Yeah, unfortunately applies to everybody that's traveling on the Baltimore County road.
That's true.
Okay?
I'm
So
traveling.
I know that you sort of wish that this is the case, and it might be that through advocacy and through your vote and through your voice, you're able to make changes that you feel would make a better society, but we are currently living and functioning in society as it stands now.
But
okay?
those laws doesn't apply to me.
They sure do. Okay, so what we're trying to do
They
is
sure
use
do.
those laws to cut you as much of a break as possible. Okay, because I understand if you don't self-identify as Mr. Jackson, if you self-identify as something else, the fact that you're going to receive citations today is really going to jam you up because you'll probably FTA for court and it'll become an issue with a warrant later on. What we're trying to do is keep this as easy for you as possible. Currently, your car is parked blocking a driveway, which gives us the right to tow it because you're not going to be able to move this car because you don't have a valid license. What I would like to do, with permission, of course, is I would like to move your car into a valid parking spot. That would
if you have a valid licensed driver that wants to swing by and drive this car away, the car's great to do so, right? Your license is valid. It's just a
I don't have a license.
You don't have a full license.
I don't have a license.
Okay, so I'm willing to work for that because the fact that you're going to receive citations today is already going to be a little bit of a financial burden on you. What I don't want to do is then add an unnecessary tow bill, which until you then decide to take a registration for the vehicle and go pick it up,
you
just continues to amass. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what I can do to help you out. They called you out because you wanted to talk with the supervisor. Somebody that had a little bit more discretion, a little bit of leverage.
I'm
That's why
making very patient officer.
The right of a citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport one's property thereon. I'm not dealing commerce right now. So I'm not transporting any goods. There's no.
Okay.
There it was. Hold on.
He didn't say it, but what he just did, he read from Black's Law Dictionary. So we'll check it.
Bingo.
We both bingoed there. What a way to end it. All right.
Dude, why would you do that?
What an idiot. Everyone's an idiot.
Buddy, no. Buddy, no.
Well, it's over. We both have to physically leave this dwelling. We have to travel.
We're going to travel in our motor vehicles.
Hope we don't get stopped by any road pirates.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, have fun, guys. We'll see you next week.
Oh, bye.